Powerful build. Street smart. 2. Powerful build. Which will let us hopefully be out of the choice in chapter 1. It will not help us with chapter 2. We don't know yet which chapters Mystic or Street Smart helps with. Chapter 1 is Powerful Build. Chapter 2 is Keen Eye. Chapter 3 is Book Smart. Chapter 4 was Hot for some reason. So, we've got obviously more chapters. Okay. I do, however, have to go use the bathroom. So, I'm going to put on BRB and run an ad so that we don't have one in 10 minutes. And run to the restroom. And everybody else run to the restroom, get a drink, whatever. And I'll see folks in 3 minutes. Also, I'll press the wrong button, so you'll get another content warning. Welcome back from capitalism. Okay, so we are starting a powerful build. Oh my god, street smart. Like secret strike. What? Powerful build, street smart build. Run thing. Just make sure I have all the correct things happening here. Okay. Oh, I should change the powerful build plus street smart. Okay, update the info. Okay. I think I'm gonna let the voiceover guy.
Self-voicing enabled. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops in seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets.
I think I'm gonna let the voiceover go for the bus scene, so that I can rest my voice and we can still get this done.
The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow, stranger, so anyway, as I was saying. Oh no. He's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. Stranger, I was up in Maryland, looking for work but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Stranger, me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. Street smart. Stranger.
Okay. Never mind. The voiceover is weird.
Self-voicing disabled.
Let's feign an illness. You begin to cough and your eyes start to water in command. Pretending to be sick has always been one of your better ways to get people to leave you alone in strange places. Oh, are you sick? That's all right. I'm pretty sure I've already had whatever you've got. I'm sick all the time. Gotta keep my immune system on its toes, you know? That's how you know this came out before the pandemic? During the pandemic? So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was going to call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad and not just playing. But she keeps swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked, and so all she could call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year. It's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me for real, and geez, you ever get so mad you just want to kill somebody? Stop it. Huh? Stop what? Whatever it is you think you're doing right now. You know what I'm talking about. This whole corner a stranger on the bus and try to make them uncomfortable act, I'm not playing along. Huh, alright. Maybe I never really wanted to kill her, even if I threatened it a little bit. I honestly could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to a son right now, and I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm into that stuff, so I might just wind up on the bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. One of these days, you're going to run into someone who doesn't tolerate your bullshit. Get your act together. Cross your arms and glare at the young man with menace in your eyes. Huh. Alright, maybe you have a point. I guess New York will always be there waiting for me. Anyway, where did you say you were headed? I didn't. No need to be nasty, I was just asking. Not like I'm gonna follow you off the bus or anything. So if you aren't getting off at my stop, then you must be headed to Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in these parts. It's the only other stop until this bus turns around. I read it pretty often, so I'd know. Almost nobody ever goes up that way, though, come to think of it. I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mine. It's a coal mine up in the holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I've never wanted to do this kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks. But my buddies got desperate enough to try it. Haven't heard from them in a while now that I think of it. I should see if they're on Facebook. See how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die. Back at his phone for once, focused on something other than you. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. Stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. Tina's protein. Didn't build these muscles by turning down free protein. You take the wet peanuts from the stranger. It's been several hours since you had any protein, which is several hours too many in your book. You tear into them immediately, not even bothering to remove the shells as you chew through fistfuls of soft legume. In a few moments, they're all gone. Figured someone like you would get some good use out of them. With that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. When you have a trait thing to say or do it. Just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk, though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on its every break. It's on it every week. I can read. I swear I can read. The driver quickly shuts the door behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, psst, too. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from a few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Aw. Why is Tabitha annoyed at us? Let me rephrase that. Why is Tabitha already annoyed at us? Go in for a firm headshake. Tabitha, you make direct eye contact, straighten your back, and extend your right arm. She called out her hand limply in response. You grip it and squeeze, shaking once. Very professional. Tabitha's lip curls in disgust. She pulls her hand back quickly, covertly wiping it on her dress as she turns towards the car. Come on, let's go. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Her cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. Follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence and she focuses on the road. Okay. How are you holding up? Fine. You don't have to hide how you're feeling around me. We're family, even if we just met. She sighs, a particularly heavy sigh. Look, I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine, really. Can't believe we've never actually met before this. You have your mom to thank for that, or had, I guess. Hmm. I don't know why my mom left or what kind of grudge she had against this side of the family, but I'm sorry. I wish I'd known about you. Whatever. What's done is done. So, the funeral, it's on Sunday, right? Yep, like I told you. That's how we know, so that's why we're gonna have chapter 5 will be Friday, chapter 6 will be Saturday, and I guess chapter 7 will be the funeral? Hmm. Since I'm here, do you need any help planning? I know this stuff isn't easy. It's actually been fine. Just needed the coffin and somebody to dig a hole. Yeah, I'm not talking about Dead Mom's Club. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you. Someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you. A jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it, perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You know, this is a random thought. We know that Charlie Jr. was basically sacrificed on top of a seal at the city hall. And we know that Sybil keeps pushing you to where where the seals are. Like she pushes you towards the clinic, and we know that you were potentially likely to die there. And she pushes you towards the mine, we know you potentially were going to die there. I'm wondering if actually you are supposed to be a sacrifice in this game. I'm kind of postulating that as a theory that we, the player, Vivian's daughter, uh, are supposed to be sacrificed on top of a seal because probably in every generation a scarlet person, like relative, is supposed to be sacrificed. Now, Charlie Jr. was not a scarlet that we know of. But maybe it's just that a person needs to be sacrificed and a scarlet needs to do it. Right? And like we saw that Enoch like made Eddie do it. So, hmm. And maybe the grandma, the one who died having Porlan and Vivian, maybe she was also sacrificed. Hmm. Don't actually know. Which means that, like, oh, and that's probably what happened to Wayne. Porlan needed to sacrifice somebody and probably sacrificed Wayne. And Tabby knows what she has to do. But yeah, I don't know. This theory like just kind of gets crazier and crazier as I think about it, but it's still, I think, my actual theory because I am betting, I am betting that is actually what's happening. Um, I'm gonna try to remember that I was betting on that when we find out or find out more. But that just like flittered into my head. So anyway, you're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Welcome to my family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. Wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen, and hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to these places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. Okay, well, let's lie. It's beautiful. I don't think I've ever been in a place that feels as powerful as this. You're lying through your teeth, but Tabitha doesn't need to know that. In fact, not only does she not need to know that you're lying, but she won't know, ever. You're a very good liar. It is. The estate was the prize jewel of this region for a long time. It's quite a magnificent piece of architecture, even now. Shall we take the tour? Follow me. Put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over the holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixing for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. Always dreamed of having a kitchen like this. It's so much bigger than what I'm used to in the city. Is this a kitchen island? It is. Thank you. Awesome. I love PB&J. How'd you know it was one of my favorites? That smile can't be real. I didn't, but good for you. All right. What's next on the tour? Bathroom. Follow me. Great. It's been hours since I've gone. The two of you leave the kitchen. You pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. Is that your cat? What's its name? Frou Frou. Do not try to pet her. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. You decide to follow Tabitha's advice. Shall we move on? The bathroom awaits. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights, it'll get easier to navigate these spaces. But for the time being, you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must if you must. It is a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit around untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. What a wonderful bathroom. I absolutely love it. I've always wanted one of those bathtubs with the little feet on it. Glad you like it. That bathtub is an extremely valuable antique. All right, let's find the bugs. Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. Well, it's a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. There's a lot of boxes and stuff lying around here. I could help you move things around and fix the place up. Look, I appreciate the offer, but Janie already comes in once a week. It's fine. It's incredible. How'd you know how much I love cherubs? That chest is to die for. I'm surprised to see that you have such discerning taste. Every last piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique, handed down through the family for generations. I guess I'll start to get settled. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. Wait, where are you going? To work. Somebody has to pay the bills around here. What kind of work do you do? I run the coal mine, same as every Scarlet who came before me, except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and consideration, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep me for long. I didn't know you owned a coal mine. We don't own a coal mine. I own the coal mine. Your side of the family forfeited any claim to it years ago. Girl boss. Damn, I can't believe you're only in your 20s and already running a coal mine. Talk about girl boss. Don't patronize me. I know you have nothing to your name. Any other name questions before I leave? Hey, did I do something wrong? You asked me to come to this funeral, but since the moment I got here, you've been acting like I spat in your coffee. What's going on? Was it something I said? Okay, I'm sorry. I've been testy since you've gotten here, but you've been too nice. Last thing I need right now is someone sucking up to me every 5 minutes. Please, just stay out of my hair until later, okay? I have work to do. Aw, too nice. You sure you can't take the day off? Special occasion, your cousin's in town. No, some of us have responsibilities. Okay, I'll drop it. Thank you. I'll see you later tonight. Go into town, stay here, do whatever you want, just stay out of trouble. All right, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you're back. We'll see. There's a lot needs to get done this week. Cousin leaves through the front door, and now it's just you. You and a sprawling, decrepit estate. Yeah, forbidden wing time. With Tabitha gone, there is no one stopping you from going into the forbidden wings of the estate. Except for the locks and chains, sealing them shut. An insurmountable obstacle for most, but a mild inconvenience for you. Excuse me. As the locks fall, the doors moan open, revealing the entrance to what once must have been an incredibly lavish ballroom. Faintly in the distance, you can hear the quiet notes of an old piano playing from another room. The forbidden wings are yours to explore. You can see why your cousin warned you against coming here. It's clear that the chaos of nature is doing its best to reclaim this place. Years of detritus have piled here like gathering leaves, and the tiled floor has been torn apart, destroying the order that once made this place beautiful. Okay. Yeah. This is vaguely terrible and kind of terrifying. The piano you heard from outside the ballroom has grown louder. Whatever it is, it's nearby. Maybe it's just a self playing model, or maybe you aren't as alone here as you thought. Let's examine the painting. You make your way over to the painting covering the far wall. It's a family tree. Angry scratches cover the space your mother should be. Okay, so let's look. So here's Silas. There's Enoch. There's Theodore, who died young and without children. There's Eddie. These guys died in a war. And Eddie had Mary Bell and Alexandra. Alexandra died young, and I think on the same day as Enoch. And Mary Bell had Vivian and Parlan, and Parlan had Tabitha. There's Tabitha. And we do get told that Eddie got knocked up, but we also think we know that it wasn't with Mary Bell or with Alexandra, which means that Eddie either had a baby who is not on this tree, a baby who is somebody else in our story, and or got rid of it, which is also possible. Okay, let's figure out where the piano is coming from. Yeah, it is baby Tabitha at the very top. Or teen Tabitha, maybe? Toddler Tabitha? I think teen Tabitha. Okay. As far as you can tell, there are 3 exits to the ballroom. There's, of course, the door you came through. And on your far right is the door beyond a broken floor. Dead end. Across the room from where you entered is the 3rd and final exit. A glass doorway you can just barely make out behind a pile of broken furniture. You move to investigate it more closely. Yeah, we just did chapters 1 and 2 with Mystic and Booksmart. And now we're doing it with Powerful Build and Street Smart because I wanted to get into the wing and see if any of this is new. But so far, none of this is new. As you approach, the playing grows clearer. Without a doubt, the piano is behind this door. Okay, let's clear the furniture. A pile of furniture blocking the doorway weighs a considerable amount, and it's safe to say that most people would be unable to move it on their own. You aren't most people, though, and with a bit of muscle, you clear it off to the side. As you move the final piece out of the way, the playing stops, as if aware of your efforts. Okay. Well, we know that there's Wayne, and I guess Wayne played the piano. Okay. As you step through the door, something slips through your periphery and into the shadows. You lock eyes with it as it lingers in the doorway at the far side of the room, the 2 of you separated by a cavernous gash in the floor. Who are you? Your words hang in the air as the presence slips deeper into the estate. Why is my only option to leave? I want to see more. Whatever it was you just encountered leaves you wondering just how much longer you should even stay in the estate on your own. Well, I wonder if you stay in the estate in chapter 2 and Sybil shows up and makes her thing happen, if you get to tell her that, like, it's some person playing the piano. Okay, let's go meat and a possum in our drawers. Okay. Look out the window. It's a beautiful garden. I'm not reading because we literally just read this. Gonna open the dresser. And a possum lurks within it. It's quiet but angry. Oh, pardon me. Okay, that drawer belongs to that drawer belongs to those. Sorry, Dustin. Let's check out the closet. Of course, you're sharing the room with a creepy doll. Yeah, and we now know where Alexander is on the family tree. Yep. No, we can't read that. Okay. Maybe you'll ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. So that was probably their grandma, right? Caroline and Vivian's mom, I think, right? I think. Okay, we're not going to try to nap. We're going to go into the kitchen. Mostly so we can go explore the gardens. Although, I think we need keen eye to really see anything here. And even with keen eye, I'm not sure we see anything here this early. Okay. I am sad that there was nothing, like, new in the Forbidden Wing. But I guess not everything can be new. You know what? I don't want a sandwich. Because I had those peanuts. Let's head into town. I think we're still not going to go to the diner in this run. But let's see if we can flirt with King. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Tell me more. I'm in love with this dog and wish to know everything there is to know about her. Gladly. Her favorite food is cheese whiz. Favorite toy is an old sock I sewed to look like a squirrel. And her favorite show is Murder, She Wrote. Sometimes I leave it on in the background while I'm working to give her something to do. She likes to sit in her little bed and watch it like an old lady with her programs. That's so cute. How'd you first meet her? My mom was a vet and she used to visit the regional animal shelter on weekends to do checkups. When I was real young, I'd go with her to volunteer, which really meant I'd do a little bit of manual labor, then play with the dogs after rescue the rest of the day. One weekend, believe it or not, someone dropped off this little 1-year-old pug that's outgrown its cute puppy stage. When I went to clean her kennel, she looked at me with those big, watery, nervous eyes, wagging her entire butt and whimpering like no one had ever loved her before. I couldn't not fall head over heels, you know? My parents were rugged mountain folk, so they weren't big on toy breeds. And at first, they refused to even consider adopting poor Gretchen. But I kept visiting every week, and soon enough, they caved and let me take her home. My dad still wasn't too keen on her at first, but soon enough, he was taking her out on the trails like she was a hound dog. Sorry for talking your ear off, but I can't help it. I could prattle on about Gretchen for hours. But where are my manners, talking to you for this long without introducing myself? I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up at the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks. But you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? I wouldn't be caught dead in a funeral. I wouldn't be caught dead at a funeral. Very funny. but I'd recognize those sunken eyes and rigid cheekbones anywhere. That scarlet blood runs thick. He must be Tabby's cousin, right? He's the only person I can think of who would come into town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her all alone in that big house. I'm sorry, did you say Tabby? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so cute. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. She seems all right. She seems to be taking it okay. I don't know her that well, so I can't tell if things have had an impact on her mood. But I get the sense that she's always a little rough around the edges. That's Tabby, all right. I'm glad to hear she's doing okay. She and her mom were really close, and to think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself. But I guess she's got you there to keep her company now. That'll be good for her, even if she doesn't realize it herself. Are you two friends? I was probably closer than most people have gotten to being able to call her a friend. The school here is really small, so everyone had at least get along with everyone else. She was a grade ahead of me, but everyone knew her, especially since she's a Scarlet. We wound up bonding a bit when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was a little more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. I think I'm just gonna wander for a while. Thanks for the offer, though. Okay, if you're sure. You're missing out, though. But I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. Don't be a stranger. The two continue on their way up the road, leaving you to your business. Let's go visit the general store. You wander into the quaint little general store. The country ambiance clashes terribly with the goth woman behind the counter, who has been eyeing you with something between curiosity and dawning horror. Oh my god. She was clearly trying to say it quietly, but of course you heard her. You're the only two people here. Your reputation once again seems to have preceded you. That surprised look on her face is a look of recognition. Okay. Hi, are you looking for something in particular? You seem too cool to live here. God, I wish. But if that were true, I wouldn't be stuck here, would I? I'm Kanika, by the way, and you must be Bzzz, too. Oh, why does everyone have to know who I am? It feels like everyone's already formed opinions of me. I know exactly what you mean. Everyone here has known me since I was a baby, so it's like I'm a perpetual teenager to them. You're lucky your mom got out before you ever had to deal with that. I'd better get out, too, before I become one of those old fogies sitting on her porch telling grown adults about something they did when they were 10. How do you get away with fashion like that in a rural southern town? What, like they're gonna try me for witchcraft? Sure, I get weird looks sometimes, but there are definitely some ladies in town who have made it their job to save my soul. But there are way too many hippies in these hills for most people to be concerned about what I'm wearing. And my mom is Queen Hippie, so I'm probably the least witchy person I know. Everyone my mom talks to might as well be wearing a pointy hat and carrying a broom. I feel like the first normal person I'd talk to. The only other person you've met is Tabitha. Anyone would seem normal. I'll take the compliment, though. Doesn't sound like you're very fond of this place. No, I'm not. I've spent enough time here for one lifetime. But getting out is always easier said than done. Should probably buy something while I'm here. If you want, I won't force you. Let's get ice cream. You quickly head to the fridge, grabbing the nearest frostbitten pint of ice cream before making your way to the register. We're unfortunately out of Hillbrook Creamery, in case brand loyalty runs in the family. I was hoping I could butter her up with a new pint. Is this the wrong one? I'm afraid so. We don't carry that weird stuff she eats anymore. Not since she stopped coming around to buy it. And we finally managed to sell off the last of it a couple of years ago, thank God. So, what do you think of Tabitha? It depends. Are you guys friends? I take it you're not? Was I that obvious? We have a history. Lots of families in small towns like this wind up with a history. That's just how it goes. Plus, she's rude, so we usually try to avoid each other. She does her shopping online, and I don't have to keep crates of off-brand mac and cheese in the back for her. Everyone's happy. If I were you, I'd be careful getting too friendly with her, by the way. If you knew the kind of things she and Perlan were always saying about you, I doubt you would spend much time with her either. My aunt used to talk about me? What did she say? If you really want to know, that you and your mom were stuck-up city people who thought you were better than the town. That your mom was, for having you out of wedlock. That it's good your mom left because she was going to drink away the family fortune. She would just say anything. I never believed a word of it because I heard what she always says about my family, too. And I knew nothing that came out of her mouth over anyone's time. I think most people in town knew that. However, Tabitha is not most people. I'm sure she believed it all. I don't envy you having to spend a whole week with someone who thinks so poorly of you. And she's just generally difficult to be around anyway. Oh, before I forget, how much do I owe you? $5. You hand Kanika 5. As is custom, the ice cream is now yours. I think I have to do the fare thee well, fair maiden. What did you say? Is that how they talk in Cityville these days? Fare thee well yourself. Have a good one. Oh well. Let's go to town hall. Your precious ice cream should be able to survive a little more time exploring the town. Is she glaring at us just based on the town's description of Tabitha's cousin? Did she recognize you as being the cousin based on the family's Scarlet appearance? Yes. She recognized us and, we're the only stranger that's come to this town in generations, I think, basically. So, yeah. All right. Let's talk to the teens and the adult. What you find? This is going to be interesting because the last time I did this scene, I had Booksmart. So I, got all kinds of info about the town from Oscar, but I don't think I'm going to get that without that. What you find inside the elegant building is not a town hall, as was suggested by the letters carved in stone out front. Instead, you find something that looks more like a library. In fact, it is a library. The air is thick with the smell of old paper and fresh coffee. A man busies himself storing books on a mobile shelf, and a cat lounges on a book curtain. There's a group of teens gathered on the stairs, not sitting in chairs despite the prevalence of empty seats, as is their custom. They glance up at you with slight annoyance, as is also their custom. Hi there, I'm Oscar. If you need help, just let me know. The cat, too, meows at you in a seemingly warm greeting. Okay, let's go talk to him. Oscar, clearly the librarian here, smiles at you from behind the shelf of books. But as his eyes focus on your face, the smile fades, replaced with a look of dawning recognition. Wait a minute, you must be... Never mind, sorry. Who is it, Dad? Do you know her? No, Rosalina, don't worry about it. Oh my god, wait, I heard somebody at school talking about how the long lost Scarlet heir was coming back to town this week, for the funeral. This must be her. But Becca, Miss Tabitha is the heir, right? Shut up, Alexis. I know what I heard. I think Alexis is right. I think Tabitha already owns the mines. Ugh, you're 13, Rosalina. Stop acting like you know things. Girls, please, be nice to each other. Yes, this is Tabitha's cousin, and no, she isn't the true heir to the Scarlet Fortune, or anything like that. She's just here to pay respect to Miss Pearlan. So much for not making you feel like you know everything about you. You have to imagine that's a bit uncomfortable, but welcome to Scarlet Hollow, too. Shouldn't those kids be in school? It's fall break, they said. And I'm happy to have them here. I like knowing where Rosalina gets up to. What are you girls doing again? We're taking a What Dragon Species Are You quiz. Yeah, and we have to focus, so please don't keep distracting us by asking what we're doing. Okay, for the next one, choose a smell. I like smoky, but I don't know. That seems like it'll just get us like a normal fire-breathing dragon. Yeah, if we want the Japanese air dragon, we need to be more strategic. What does air smell like? Aren't we supposed to just answer the one we like best? Not if we want to get the best dragon. I'm going to say ocean spray, because spray is in the air. I love being in a town where everyone already knows who I am. It saves so much time on introductions. No, I suppose that's true. What a positive outlook. Most of the gossip was about your mom anyway. I was just a kid when she left town, but I still remember what an uproar that was. A very own celebrity scandal. And it's all started up again now that folks were saying you might come back to town. It's good that you're willing to shrug it off, because I have to imagine folks will be passing a lot of quick judgments about you. Happens to the best of us. I've had my fair share too. Wait, have you been at the center of some small town drama? I like to think that if you live in a town this small and don't wind up the topic of a few rumors, you aren't truly living. But yes, not to get too personal, coming back to town after college with a toddler and no wife did land me in the center of a lot of talk. Just live and let live. People will say what they say, and there's no point in being too concerned about it. Best comeback is a life well lived. Oh my god, Rosalina, is your dad this weird with everybody? That was way too much. I don't think we're supposed to be listening. Well, he shouldn't trauma dump on strangers. Do you know my cousin? Well, everyone in town, like this, kind of knows each other. But I wouldn't say we're friends, or even acquaintances. I know of her, and presumably she knows of me. I hope she's doing all right. I know how hard it is to grapple with the loss of a parent, especially so young. It's disappointingly common up in these parts. People don't tend to go to the doctor until it's too late. Most of them live hard lives on top of that. It seems even Pearlan wasn't safe from the ravages of mountain life. He's still doing it. Didn't they just meet? He's right, though. Didn't your uncle die last year, Alexis? Yeah, he was pretty young, and he got cancer. Ew. How now are you guys doing it, too? I don't remember asking for a Greek chorus to chime in on my conversation, girls. Don't talk so loud. Lower your voice so the teens can't hear you. That Becca girl is kind of rude. Are you going to let her say stuff like that? Definitely not going to reprimand somebody else's kid. It's not my job to tell her how she needs to be. Last thing I want is for her parents to come knocking, saying I yelled at their daughter. And I know I raised Rosalina to be a good kid, so I can count on her to be a positive influence on her peers. It's all about the long game with parenting. I met this Stella girl in the street. Do you know her? Stella? Of course. She comes in here all the time to work on her little videos. She always does the reading adventure, too, which she really doesn't have to do. It's pretty kid-oriented. But I think it's her way of being supportive. That's that YouTuber, right? Yeah, I've seen some of her videos. They get views. It's kind of neat. Definitely. She did the this one on like a river monster down in the Catawba River, and she got some real footage. She totally found something. It got in the news. I remember that. It was totally a dog. Who cares? This quiz is way more interesting than any of those lame videos. What gem do you think a Japanese air dragon would like? I like emeralds best. Get your head in the game. We're not playing to see what the lamest dragon is. We're playing to win. I'm picking Lapis Lazuli. Has the prettiest name, and Japanese air dragons are the prettiest. Ugh, we got Seaworm, ew. We were clearly too distracted by all this talking over there. I thought libraries were supposed to be quiet places of study. Come on, let's go to your place, Alexis. I feel like a 5-year-old when I hang out in the library. Yeah, we can watch a movie in your basement. Do you think your parents would mind? I can ask. They never mind. Come on, let's go. The teens start towards the door, with Becca in the lead. Wait, Rosalina, when should I expect you back? We're going a sleepover, right? I'll have to see. My mom was going to make pot pies for dinner. That's okay. We can order a pizza. Their conversation fades as they walk out the door. Keep me posted. Teens, am I right? You say knowingly despite the lack of children. I'm sure I'll miss this when she's off at college. That's what I keep telling myself, at least. Anyway, I'd better go shelf these books before it gets too late. But feel free to stop by any time. I'm always around. Make your way back to Main Street. It looks like the sun's finally starting to set. Maybe you'll see if a sleepy southern town like Scarlet Hollow has a vibrant nightlife another day. But for now, you feel ready to head back to the estate. You return to the dirt road, beginning the trek back up towards the estate. As the sun sinks deeper into the horizon, the sky is flooded with orange and pink hues, the shadows around you darkening and stretching out over the path. The mountains seem to be making night come quickly here, their rounded hills blotting out the dying sun prematurely, casting the valley of Scarlet Hollow in an eerie autumn twilight. You had a long day. Between traveling and meeting all these strangers, the dusty bed that waits for you back at the estate is starting to sound very appealing. There's a sound on the path behind you. You turn back to the road, but find nothing. You still seem to be alone. Eyes scan the side of the mountain road, settling on a large stick. This will definitely protect you. Then you hear another sound, a shuffle of leaves. You look up to see a creature in the middle of the road, paused in mid-step, one paw still held in midair. It's staring at you with a wild and unkempt look in its eye. It's a mountain lion, and there's something horribly wrong with it. It takes yet another step towards you, drool leaking from its slack mouth. Ready your weapon. There must be easier prey than me. I could kill you in the state you're in. Dashes forward with surprising speed, ears back and claws glinting. Whoa. Holy crap. We need to screenshot this. Please hold. Please hold as I take a little screenshot. You swing your stick at the creature as it barrels towards you, blow connecting with a heavy, satisfying crack. It's stunned for the briefest of moments, and then it lunges again, pawing at your ankles, its momentum dragging you towards the tree line, and from there sliding downhill. It's disorienting, but you manage to move the creature's body under you just before a heavy impact. You find yourself stunned, but relatively uninjured. But the mountain lion isn't finished, its body oozing from the fall. Oh my god, that's so gross. Pushes itself back to its feet, killing intent shining clear in its wide yellow eyes. Then okay. Cool. We got to smack it with a stick. The Evening air is pierced with the sound of a gunshot. The mountain lion is gone in a flash, leaving a thin trail of blood behind as it disappears into the dark woods beyond the path. As you gain your bearings, you realize that your ice cream is gone. You must have lost it in your fall. Aw. Damn, I nearly had the thing. I nearly had you too. Who the hell are you and what are you doing out here? Looking to get shot? Starts crying. What the hell was that thing? Mountain lion. Been after it all day. Wait a tick, you seem awfully familiar. He looks you up and down with his good eye. Ain't you that Scarlet kid everyone's been saying wasn't gonna show? I apologize for my brusqueness, and I'm sorry for you and Miss Tabitha's loss. You can call me Duke. No need to thank me for saving your life. Duke seems to think for a moment, glancing up at the darkening sky. You'd better not keep walking around on your own out here, not with that thing in the prowl. I hate to think anything might happen to you without me around to save your skin. Tell you what, tag along with me while I finish what we started. I'll be sure to get you home safe. I'd wager Miss Tabitha would appreciate somebody looking out for you. Something wrong with that mountain lion. It's probably got the cancer. Had all them lumps. Doesn't mean it's any less dangerous. If I had to guess, I'd say it's more deadly than ever now that it's seen death coming for it. As you well know, when's the last time you heard of a mountain lion attacking anybody, especially on this side of the continent? You're one of the lucky few, so don't ruin it by going off and dying alone in the woods after God did you a favor. Yes, let's go after that thing before it hurts somebody else. Damn right. Let's kill that son of a bitch. You and Duke make your way into the dark woods, following the trail of blood the mountain lion. Okay. I like how that, how that kind of worked out with, like we got to punch the mountain lion and I got to screenshot that. But like we still kind of end up right where we are. Though Duke has a flashlight, he uses it sparingly. And the two of you find yourself in near total darkness. Yeah, okay. Letting you both adjust to the starlight instead. I can read. Every sound falls deafening as you make your way through the underbrush. Every snapping twig could be the deadly paws of the thing that's hunting you. Every rustling leaf, the herald of a vicious attack. You know deep down it's probably nothing but squirrels and shrews. Until you hear the unmistakable sound of something large shifting among the falling leaves. Gotcha. The old man quickly steps forward, gun held at the ready. What the hell? Duke, you scared me. What are you doing out here so late? Stella, I ask you the same, but I'm sure I know what has you slinking around after dark. Did you know how close I just came to putting a hole in you? But you didn't. No harm, no foul. Hey, Bibs2. Weird to see you out here so late. Does Tabitha know you're with Duke? Gretchen's little nose seems to pick up something she doesn't like. She thrashes in Stella's arms, whining threateningly. Whoa, calm down, girl. You know Bibs2. I swear, it gets so hard to hold onto her when she gets like this. Sometimes it feels like she's only geriatric when she wants to be. It's all right, little lady. You're safe as long as you got your mama looking after you. Unlike you, Stella, if you decide to keep doing whatever it is you're doing out here, I think you'll find these woods aren't agreeable tonight. This two here had a run-in you wouldn't believe. So just go on home and save all this for some other night. Wait, a run-in? What kind of a run-in? Was it supernatural? Like I said, you won't believe it. Now put that dang camera away. Was attacked by a mountain lion. A mountain lion? Are you sure? Oh, for the love of... Don't you get started, Stella. We was both there. We saw the damn thing. It was a mountain lion, plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just that I did this whole video on them. found absolutely no evidence that they exist out here. Eastern mountain lions are extinct. There hasn't been a sighting in decades. I think Stella really needs to understand that absence of evidence is not the same thing as evidence of absence. There hasn't been a sighting in decades until now. Your friend here damn near got eaten by one. So if you don't want your last video to be found 20 years from now next to a pile of your bones in the den of some long-dead creature, you'd best get out of these woods. That would be so cool. No, it would not. Your mama and daddy are spinning in their graves hearing talk like that. If they ain't around to stop you, then I'll take on that responsibility. Go on, get. The old man shoos her away. Fine, I'll go. You recognize something in her smirk. She has no intention of going home. Okay, well that's a bug, because you can't rejoin Stella, because you're never with her. You're just gonna keep running around with your camera, aren't you? She most certainly is. I'll head back towards town, I promise. She's absolutely not doing that. If anything, calling her out has only strengthened her resolve. This is hilarious. And if I happen to see anything video-worthy on my way, well, who am I to deny fate? If I hear any screams of terror out there tonight, know that I will be very disappointed in you, Stella Richmond. You won't hear a peep. And with that, she's off. It's just you and Duke in the dark woods once again. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. We're having pre-rolls again, which I want to disable. So we need to run a tiny spot of capitalism so that we do not get pre-rolls anymore. So I'm gonna take a 3-minute break and run an ad, and everybody else take this opportunity to use the restroom, get a drink, stretch, do self-care. We've been here for 4.5 hours. All right, see you in a little bit. Okay, I think we're back from the capitalism. I think. I guess let me know if we're not back from the capitalism. But then you wouldn't be able to hear me. So I am just going to assume that we are indeed back from the capitalism. And we're back with Duke in the woods. Okay. There is no getting through to that girl when she puts her mind to something, I swear. Damn, we've been stopped too long. Now the old hip's starting to voice its complaints. There's an overlook just up that way. Let's sit a spell. I brought a few victuals along, if you're peckish. And there's Wayne. Hi, Wayne. You found your way along the narrow path and emerge on a rocky outcropping overlooking the dark forest. The sky above is smeared with stars, more than you have ever seen before. Duke interrupts the serenity of the scene with his old man grunts, folding his creaky joints as he settles onto a nearby log. He starts rustling through his small pack you hadn't noticed he was carrying, pulling out some beef jerky and a couple of beers. At least it's a nice night, even if the circumstances leave something to be desired. Help yourself to jerky. As for the beer, I was planning on having both cans myself, but I suppose I can be convinced to spare one. Take one of Duke's cold ones. It's more like a somewhat cool one after so many hours outside, but you crack it open nonetheless. Offer him a gesture of cheers and take a sip. It's cheap beer, but it's refreshing. Its watery, earthy taste mingling well with the crisp mountain air, putting you somewhere somewhat more at ease. Duke seems slightly more at ease now too, seemingly happy to not be drinking alone. Okay, I don't want to bond over sports. I can't believe Stella wouldn't believe us about the mountain lion. Are they really that rare up here? If you ask most people, there ain't been any in these parts for decades. But everybody who lives deep enough in the hills has a story or two about seeing one. Not that anybody believes us. And if we don't manage to bag that son of a bitch, you'll have one of them stories too. Then you'll get the rare pleasure of telling people what you've seen with your own two eyes and nobody believe you. A crisp breeze passes over you. You can't help but shake the feeling that you're being watched. Hi, Wayne. You scan the tree line, but whatever might be out there is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me, or does it feel like we're being watched right now? That's just nature. You'll get used to it. Should we be drinking in this situation? Isn't it dangerous? It's just a Bud Light. It ain't moonshine. Anybody who gets drunk off a Bud Light is drinking it wrong. I find it helps keep my aim steady. Lowers the nerves just enough to shake the tremor out of my trigger hand. I'll have some of that jerky. Damn straight you will. Take a laborious bite of the jerky. It's the type of trail snack that isn't very comfortable to eat, but his discomfort brings with it a deep satisfaction. Discomfort that tells you that you're tough. It's not especially flavorful, but it is nourishment. Eating it is like how you imagine it might feel to survive off of old-timey war rations. Seems like you and Stella go way back. What do you think of her? What do I think? I think she's a nice young lady, and she's been through a lot on her short time on Earth. He lets a conspicuous silence fall between the two. You can tell me more, I won't tattle. Wouldn't usually be one to talk ill of anyone behind their back, but I said this to her face, may as well let it be known. She's on thin ice with me. She heard I was talking about the mountain lion that's been after my chickens, so she did a whole video about him. Asked me all sorts of questions about what I'd seen, only to turn around and slander my name. She made me look like some crackpot in that video of hers. May as well have been talking about Bigfoot. I read all them comments too, and they had plenty to say about that crazy old man and his made-up stories. But lo and behold, now you've seen it too, and she turned around and did the exact same thing to you as she did to me. At least you ain't plastered across the whole internet. I'm sorry she did that to you. She seems nice, and I like her dog. That's Gretchen is a sweetheart. Not a very useful thing, but I suppose not all God's creatures need to have a purpose beyond being loved. Stella's a sweetheart most of the time, too. Just not when it comes to cats of the large variety. That thing about her parents rolling in their graves, are they both dead? Yes, they are, God rest their souls. Car accident a while back. Poor thing was there through it all. 3 of them left town together, and she was the only one who came back. She's taken it well, all things considered. Besides a few quirks she picked up, I've heard she needs convincing when you need to get her to a car. Can't be pleasant for her living like that, but to each their own. Oh, I guess we ended up here accidentally or automatically or whatever. So you're a Duke man? I met some pretty passionate sports fans, but I've never met someone named after a team. Yeah, well, I was born into the name. Why? You a fan? Hell yeah, I am. Go Devils. Damn straight, I'll drink to that. About what you said earlier, why did everyone think I wasn't going to come to the funeral? That'd be Miss Pearl Ann's doing. She was never very kind when talking about your side of the family. Bless her heart, and God rest her soul, of course. But she told everyone your side of the family had sworn off Scarlet Hollow, and everyone who lived here, so nobody around these parts thought we'd be seeing much of you. So much more like a kind of person I'd expect to find out here, like you really belong. Calling me a stereotype? I'm just joking. I know I picked up some habits that folks around here tend to pass around. At least I ain't on the math. That's the next generation's troubles. I just chew my tobacco and drink my beer and leave it Will say, though, things ain't like they used to be around here. Kids grow up online and lose their accents because they want to sound like somebody else. Move away and come back with big heads on their shoulders, talking down to their elders, just because they went off and got themselves some expensive degree. At least my beau is a solid mountain boy. He'll be sitting on the porch with a beer, watching the sun go down over the hills every night, same as every Callaway that came before him. You know there's no shame in the country life. Yeah, why is Beau not a romanceable option? You're from here. What do you think of Scarlet Hollow? What do I think? Might as well be asking me what I think of the air I breathe or the dirt I'm standing on. How am I supposed to know? I'm in it. Should be the one asking you, what do you think of the town? Hmm. Get the impression that it's barely hanging on. How you watch yourself. Only locals get the privilege of smack talking the town. Main Street might not be doing as well as it used to, but that doesn't mean folks aren't still living around here. It'll come back. Scarlet Hollow always comes back, no matter how many times it looks to be falling apart. Hmm. I was wondering, how did you find me? I've been on that thing's trail all day. Got myself a personal vendetta. It's been after my chickens. I've seen it around my property a few times now. The next day, I always have a bird or two missing. Those birds are like family to me. I raised them from eggs. They know me by sight like I'm their daddy. So it means something to me when some creature sets their sights on my hens. That thing shoots to the top of my list of enemies. I suppose it sees some commonalities between you and my chickens. I didn't expect to find a near stranger out there in the wrong end of that thing. I'm glad I did for your sake. Right, I'm bored. He chose to let a comfortable silence fall between you, gazing up at the glistening sky and enjoying the night as you slowly sip your beer. It's like nothing you've ever seen. It's the kind of sight that makes you realize why so many generations that came before you wrote mythologies to describe their patterns. There's so much beauty here, despite the fear that still hangs heavy in the air, knowing what might lurk beyond the tree line. But the tranquility doesn't last long. The harsh sound of a vibrating cell phone pierces the night air. You're getting a call. It's your cousin. If you pick up, it might cut your evening short, for better or for worse. You always could text her and say you aren't in the middle of the woods next to a loaded gun and hunting down a man eating cougar. Okay. Straight to voicemail. Willfully ignore a phone call while hiking in the woods. Okay, got a new achievement. Um, Bumming around town. See you soon, but don't wait up. Your message sent. You pocket your phone. One of them fake calls, huh? Can't believe they're coming through all the way up here. Usually the hills are the only place you can be free of them. Bad reception and all. There's a sound nearby, a scuffling, and then... What in the... The rustling grows louder. That must be my birdie. She's still alive. The old man takes a step towards the tree line. Get your thieving little hands off her! Duke charges forward, flashlight in hand, crashing through the brush. Damn, that thing is fast. Which way did it go? There's an odd sound nearby, though it isn't the sound of whatever the two of you were chasing. Duke stops mid-sentence to listen, and you stop to listen as well. It's a human voice. Damn it, I know that voice. There appears to be some kind of growth. I've never seen anything like it. Geez, I'm gonna have to put some serious content warnings on this video. Okay, speaking of content warnings. Stella, I swear to God, didn't I tell you to go on home? The two of you emerge into the clearing, revealing what Stella has been filming so intently. It's Birdie, her little chicken body panting desperate breaths as she lies in a crumpled heap at Stella's feet. Birdie, oh no, what happened to you, sweetheart? Duke, I just found her like this. I think there's something seriously wrong with her. Stella, what are you still doing here? Sorry, it's my job, though. It's investigative investigative journalism. Investigative journalism, my ass. It's online rubbernecking, and if you give two shits about my birdie, you delete that footage. There's something really wrong with all of the animals we've seen tonight. No goddamn shit. It's like some kind of plague. Better not be contagious. Did you see the thing that got a hold of her? I sure did. I got it on camera, too. I don't know what it is yet. A gnome or something? You know there ain't no such thing. You stoop down to look at the chicken. Its poor little chicken eyes look up at you, glazed over, but still rolling around in their sockets with unfortunate life. Your wing is barely still attached, but that seems to be the least of this chicken's concerns. Whatever got a hold of her busted her wing up too, little bastard. Yeah, what a bastard. There was a hesitance in Stella's voice. She doesn't seem the type to intentionally hurt animals, but it's dark out here. Maybe she stepped on it without noticing it was there. Good God, at first you thought it might have been a tumor, but this is something else. The skin is stretched taut, the growth pulsing beneath. She could still get better. Maybe she just needs that thing to pop and she'll be right as rain in a couple of days. Happened to me once, and there's not so much as a scar these days. I don't know. It kind of looks like there's something in there. Whatever it might be, you know better than to investigate this lump any closer. You've seen horror movies. You back away from the chicken, your curiosity eclipsed by your instinct for self-preservation. Do you think she's become an egg? Like one of those things is gonna pop out of her? No, I refuse to entertain that notion. She ain't some kind of incubator. She just needs that thing drained. Maybe some antibiotics, that's all. Duke, I don't think it's a mountain lion that's been getting at you chickens. Yeah, no shit. In all my years, I've never seen anything like this. Whatever got at Birdie seems like the same thing that must have gotten at that mountain lion. As you, Duke, and Stella take stock of the situation, a sound begins to wrap around you. Gently at first, barely a whisper, but then a guttural moan, and then another and another, until suddenly you find yourself surrounded by a chorus of groaning misery. Hey, do you guys hear that? Yes, I hear that. She starts filming again. Come on, Birdie, let's get you home. As Duke scoops up the injured birdie, the voices in the trees intensify. It's like you all suddenly surrounded, and strange sounds coming closer, growing bolder. What the hell is that? Don't you step another foot closer or I'll shoot. Don't think I won't. Duke, wait. The man hesitates and the thing steps forward, fixing what seems to be its eyes on Birdie, tucked under Duke's arm. Gretchen starts making ungodly noises, screaming and howling along with the din around you. You and Stella turn just in time to see another of the creatures slithering out from the brush. Gretchen whines and barks, reaching a fevered pitch as another creature's malformed hands grasp at her. Oh my God! What's going on over there? As Duke glances back, everything seems to happen at once. Patter of unnatural feet, and then chaos. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed lips, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going on. Shit, get your grubby little hands off my bird. You were born for this moment. Okay, take care business. You rush to Duke's side, your steady hand reaching for the barrel of his shotgun. You grab it, pointing it safely at the sky as you aim a swift, brutal kick at the creature. Its flesh is doughy and structureless, like a loosely packaged sausage. Your foot leaves an imprint in its chest, and it stumbles back, clutching at the odd wound. Duke regains control of the shotgun, and you turn your attention back to Gretchen. Pick up a larger rock and hurl it at the thing just as it's in the midst of dragging Gretchen away. Aim is flawless, and it strikes the creature square in its wretched face, lodging itself in its scrambles back, its movements uncoordinated in its blindness, prevention unharmed. And then a gunshot, the scattering of footsteps, and finally silence. You turn just in time to see the creature you knocked off of Duke disappear, bleeding into the tree line. Holy shit, Gretchen, I almost lost you. Okay, I really like the way they redid the powerful build thing here. That worked really well. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Pibs, too. And Birdie's safe on the ground till we get our bearings. We're even now, Duke. We sure as hell are. Damn thing got away, though. We have to go after it, right? I don't think we have much footage, and nobody's going to believe us unless... Nobody's going to believe us, period, Stella Richmond. Even if we drag the mangled corpse of one of them critters straight out of the damn woods. I got my bird, and we all still got our lives. I'm calling it here. We're leaving. But... those things aren't too tough. Let's not back down while we have a fresh trail to follow. Yes, let's go. Stella doesn't wait for you or Duke to respond. She holds Gretchen close and starts running. I'll be damned if I let you two chase after those things on your own. You join Duke and Stella, chasing after the wounded creature and into the darkness. Good God, there's tons of the damn things. There are more of them, a lot more of them. They leer at you from the trees, no longer hiding as they bellow their strange calls out into the night. What in the hell are they? Where are they coming from? This question is seemingly answered when you burst through the trees and into the clearing. Yeah, I think the spiral of animals in like increasing size order is creepier than it used to be. Stella, too, is stopped by the sight and smell of what has been arranged here. She stands with you on its edge, overlooking the bizarre pattern of corpses, their rot flavoring the air. Gretchen seems upset, shaking in Stella's arms and whimpering quietly. At the sound of the dog's disquiet, the creatures flow out of the woods and surround the clearing. Dead eyes peer out from pale, doughy faces, watching the three of you and the small, terrified dog. Get all the footage you need, Stella. If these things jump us, I'm pretty sure I can take them. You out of your mind? There gotta be dozens of them up in the trees. They're circling us to protect their brood, or whatever it is they've been planting in these animals. We gotta get out of here while we still can. Duke's right. I think I have enough footage. The three of you take a few steps back from the clearing, then turn and start running together back through the woods, driven by a deep animal instinct to get away from whatever these things are. Ooh, hey! Raid time! Welcome, raiders! Sorry about the creepy noises. Let me repost the content warning for this game. Welcome. Let me make sure that we do a shout out. This kind of shout out. And also this kind of shout out, because more shout outs, more better. Welcome, Doodle Monster. How are you? What were you alls up to? Were you playing games or doing crafts or doing something else? Oh yeah. Yep. This is spooky, and they've just re-released a redo of chapter 1 and 2, and it got spookier and cooler. So far today, we've done a Mystic and Booksmart run through chapters 1 and 2, and now we're doing the powerful build and Street Smart run again, just because I wanted to see if they changed anything in some of the places. But yeah, well, welcome. My name is Pal Vulcan. We Actually, these days mostly do crafts on stream, but sometimes still games, often cozy games, and then sometimes this, which is neither cozy nor crafts. But I love this game a lot, so I had to do it. And I was going through all of the trait permutations before, but I never finished. So I am now redoing all the trait permutations, just to kind of have them all done and ready for when Chapter 5 comes out. But which spooky game were you guys playing? Oh yeah, like this game. Oh my god, this art is like, look at these things, and then look at Gretchen's poor little face. Ah, it is amazing. They've also made the sound much better and more kind of engaged as well. Called IB. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I don't think I've ever heard of it, but pixel horror is always a good time. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know if you've ever played Scarlet Hollow, but I very much recommend it. It is like, it's still not done; it's still coming out. Like I said, they just redid chapters 1 and 2, and they've had chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 out for a little while. The expectation for chapter 5 is this fall, so fingers crossed. And they've been ramping up the horror. Like, by the time we get to chapter 4 and towards the end of chapter 4, like, even I was like, oh my god, okay, this is now actually horror. Yeah, yeah, it does. And the thing is that because there's so many different traits, and you can have two traits at a time, there's lots of permutations, obviously, but you discover different bits of the game with the different set of traits. So, like, we got a lot of factual info because we had book smart and could, like, look up answers and ask questions. And we got a bunch of, like, mystical premonitions because we had the mystic trait in the previous run. And then in this one, we have powerful build and street smart. So we were able to break into a place we couldn't break into before. And also in this chapter, powerful build let us kind of get the best of both worlds. Instead of sacrificing one or the other being who was potentially going to die, we actually got to save them both, because powerful build is the key trait for chapter 1. But you just kind of, like, you get new info based on the different traits, and then one of the traits is ability to talk to animals, so you get to kind of understand what the creatures are saying, and it's pretty neat. There's a lot of replayability that's kind of just built in. Yeah, it's really cool. The authors, Black Tabby Games, they have two games. This one and Slay the Princess. Slay the Princess is not my style at all, but it's also very similar. You play the game over and over and over again, and the choices you get are different based on the previous choices. And it's the same here too, right? Like, you are making choices constantly, and that changes how people react to you and the choices available to you. I really like. Uh, I really like the new changes. And if you choose Gretchen, so I looked at it. If you choose Gretchen, they do pan to Duke's body, and then they pan away because they don't sort of stay on the body horror type stuff or the gore very long on screen, especially not in chapter 1. It gets worse. We see more of it as time goes on. Like, by the time we get to chapter 4, the gore is somewhat more obvious and the body horror is somewhat more obvious. And on screen more, but like it is yeah, it's pretty cool. I think there's a lot of psychological horror too involved because you're sort of choosing between letting the dog die and the old man die, but also if you choose the old man to live, you have to sort of help the dog's owner shoot her so that she's not in pain. It's just like it's I don't know, like sorry, it's spoilers abound, but it's really well done. It is really, really well done. But yeah, so anyway, um oh yeah, I forgot to say if you need to raid and fade, please go take care of yourself. Absolutely. Um go if you need to, but also you're welcome to hang out. Um you can kind of see how the game goes. This is the tail end of chapter 1, so like sort of all the most of the bad things have happened. This is mostly wrap up, but you know, they're everywhere. God, how many of these things are there? They reach out to you from between branch brushes and tree branches, grasping for anything they can get a hold of, their howls filling the night. Yeah, they are very good at that sort of thing. Quick, my truck's down this way. They're not gonna just let you go. You make it to the road, but three of the creatures stand between you and Duke's truck. Ooh, we can clear the path and he gets to keep birding, maybe. Stay back. We're gonna go punch them. Take a single deep breath before propelling yourself towards the creatures. As they recoil, you plant a foot firmly in the ground and throw your body forward, body towards the abominations on the right, fist firmly connecting with a powerful haymaker. Its body feels wrong, as if your blow had just collided with a bag of loose organs instead of with a living creature. Caught by surprise and outmatched by your physical prowess, the creature leap back and scatter into the woods. You are still the dominant species here, at least for now. Now, Stella, I know you got trouble with the vehicles, but I won't hear any nonsense about you walking back to town. Here, get in the truck. You sense the slightest bit of hesitation as Stella pauses on the path next to you. Okay. You squeeze into Duke's tiny two-seater truck, tucking your legs on either side of the gear shift. For such a gregarious person, Stella is being eerily quiet. She clutches Gretchen protectively, staring straight forward, expression blank, as the truck quickly starts to rumble its way down the dirt road. Okay, let's see. Which one do we want? So we got a bunch of explorations. And then we've got some stuff. That was terrifying. How are we supposed to get on with our lives knowing that something like that is out there, lurking? Damn straight it was terrifying. Scariest thing I've ever seen. I can't say I'll be looking forward to going back in the woods anytime soon. Life will find a way to go on, though. Still got livestock to protect and the state fair waiting for me and my boy. Don't matter what kind of critters are out there, there's still things that have to get done. Maybe we'll get lucky and those fists of yours will have scared them off. Doesn't seem like they can put up much of a fight when push comes to shove. Hey, Stella, you good? She doesn't respond. Why so glum? I thought you wanted to find cryptids. Shouldn't you be overjoyed? She doesn't respond. How she feels is her business. No need to go prying at a time like this. Let's focus on getting out of the woods before something else tries to come after us. He glances over to Stella, his hard face softening slightly. It'll just be a few more minutes. You'll be all right. Soon, the rumble of gravel beneath the tires gives way to uneven pavement, and the truck comes to a stop in front of a small cottage. Thanks for taking me home, Duke. Any time, but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what were those things? I've no idea. I've never heard of anything like them, but I got a ton of footage. Nothing really clear, but it's a start. Let me know if anything happens with Bertie, all right? She's gonna be fine, you hear? I'd better go check in with Bo. He'll be worrying about me. You and your friends stay safe. Okay, Bertie being taken back with Duke is new in this release. So I'm hoping when in chapter 4 we run into them in the whatchamacallit, in the police station, we can get some info on what happened with Bertie. Looks like those things didn't follow us, but, well, no point in talking about the buts. Just look out for yourselves. But I don't live here. Can you take me home? Hell no, I ain't your private chauffeur. Stay with Stella tonight. She's got the space, ain't you, girl? Yep, totally. I've got a guest bedroom with a bed and everything. Sheets even. There, taken care of. Oh yeah, because we didn't reply to Tabitha. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Now that you're back in town, you must finally be getting reception again. 6 missed calls from Tabitha, and 13 text messages. Call her. You try and call Tabitha back, but it goes straight to voicemail. Text Tabitha back and let her know you're okay. Your message sits unread. Tabitha seems worried. It's pretty late, isn't it? God, what a mess this night's been. Can't believe you punched one of those things. Felt like hitting a bag of organs. Not that that's something I've done, but it was just like meat suspended in jelly. It was barely held together in a stretched out bag. I don't think it had bones. Dang, and here I thought skunk ape sounded gross. We should call the cops, right? You're not from around here, but that's just me wasting time. Police out here mean well, but they don't really do anything, you know? If anything, they just get mad at you bothering them. What do you think? What do you make of everything we saw? I don't know. I haven't seen or read about anything like this, although maybe we gotta find out more about those things. The library doesn't open for a while, so any real research will have to wait until the morning. That being said, there is someone in town who might have some useful information. My friend's mom. Her place isn't far. We should head over now before it gets any later. I should check in on Tabitha. My friend's place is on the way back, and stopping by shouldn't take long. You sure you don't want to stop in first? I know I wouldn't want to head up that mountain road by myself after everything that's happened tonight. Put it like that, how can I say no? Cool, let's go. Well, I guess this is going to be if this is going to be our Romance Kanika run, then we might as well not try to be cool with Tabitha. I hope she's still awake. You've been here, of course, the general store. Though it's currently closed, its large windows dark. Bibs too. Jesus. You and Stella turned to see shadowy figures staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach. Hi, Wayne. Welcome home. Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. Go home, Wayne. I can't help you tonight. Which implies that Wayne has been talking to her. So, creeptastic. You look back at the figure, is already gone, disappeared into the shadows of the night. I'm sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. What brings you out here so late? And who's this? Hi, Mrs. Forsyth. This is Pibbs, too. Is it okay if we come in? Of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for hibiscus tea. And for goodness sake, you can call me Sybil. You're an adult now, after all. I hate when my friends' parents tell me to call them by their first names because it always feels really unnaturally weird. Like, every time. Woman takes you through the general store and into a door that's been closed on your previous foray into town. It's a tea room. The atmosphere is warm and comforting, the air infused with the pleasant scent of slowly decaying plants and damp herbs. Welcome to my little nook. It's nice to finally meet you, Bibbs, too. I was so sorry to hear about your mother. Vivian was such a lovely soul, and she's been sorely missed in the holler. And now poor Pearl Ann is gone as well. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. Who was that outside? Just a very sick man. You don't need to be worried about him. You knew my mom? Of course, dear. She's a good friend of mine for many years. She was such a lovely woman. You should come by sometime. I can delight you with unsavory tales of her youth. How did you know she died? Oh, Pearl Ann was a chatty woman. Not much went on that I wouldn't get an earful of, bless her heart. Okay, remain silent. Sybil reaches over and pats your hand delicately. Hers feels like soft parchment paper, dry but soothing. Now, what's got you here so late, you two? You seem troubled. You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff? Go on. We ran into some creatures out in the woods. These things, I don't even know how to describe them. Here, I can show you. Stella pulls out her camera and turns the screen towards Sybil. Oh, one of your little videos. Where was this? Up the mountain to the northwest. Within the town limits? Yes, I see. Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? I'd need to plug the memory card into a computer. I could go back and get mine. No need, Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers. You'd better come with, Stella. I'm sure she'll be more willing to help a friend than her nosy mother. I love the stickers. Kanika? Come on out. We could use a little help. What, Mom? Oh, hey, Stella. And Gretchen, who's a good potato. Oh my God, I'm not decent. Why did you bring her up here without any warning? Oh, sweetie, as if you have to worry. You're always beautiful. You're my mom. You have to say that. Oh, well, I'm not changing now, so just don't judge me. Now, what did you want? Sweetie, we were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. Stella and her friend have a video to show us. It's really important, Kanika. Okay. My room's a mess. I'll just bring it out there. I love that she's wearing a Sailor Moon t-shirt. You can watch this. We can watch this without you, Kanika. I'm pressing play. Silence washes over the room as the video plays. Holy shit, Pips 2. Like, it feels like the highlight of my life. Is that a good holy shit? You could say that. The footage continues. What are those things, though? They seem like something people should be aware of, I guess. I don't know. Do you think they're like gnomes? Gnomes? My grandmother used to talk about pale creatures called ditchlings. She always said they were a terrible omen, a sign of suffering to come. Mom, come on. Whatever doing this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Pibbs, too, with this tactile-po crap. Kanika, sweetie, let your mother talk. She always said they never hurt people despite their grisly scenes in the woods. Just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see so many in one place, Sybil holds her silence. Jesus, Mom, haven't they already been through enough? It's okay, Kanika. This is helpful. I don't know if it is. Okay. Let's focus on what we know. Whatever they are, they're doing something to these animals. You saw the nest. What were those growths? I punched one of them in the face. Okay. They really aren't that tough. I don't think we have to worry too much about them. I don't know. Heroics aside, it looks like they've been killing a lot of animals. Did you see all those open wounds at that spiraled nest? It's like they were incubating in the local wildlife. There weren't any growths there, so maybe we're looking at some sort of parasitic larval stage, like really big, doughy wasps. Oh dear, I'd forgotten entirely about the tea I'd put on. Let me fix you a couple of cups. It'll help soothe your nerves. I don't know, it's getting late, and I should let Pibs too get some rest. I don't think she even meant to wind up in the woods tonight. Um, I can stay up. This is important. Huh. Okay, maybe it's that I'm eager to get home and start doing some research. I'll ask around on my usual forums to see if anyone has information on ditchlings. Is that what you called them? That's right. You go on home now and do try to get some rest. Don't stay up all night on the online. Let me get you some of my house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see you. Bye, Pibs, too. It's excellent, iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there, both of you. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her. All righty, let's call it a night. Mind walking me home? Here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I should probably head back and check on Tabitha. That's sweet of you. Are you sure you're okay heading back up that mountain alone? I'm more afraid of making Tabitha mad than I am of those things in the woods. Yeah, Tabby can be really intimidating. Well, I won't stop you if you really want to go back. Here's my number. Call me when you get there, okay? And good luck. She scribbles her number on a piece of paper before handing it to you. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, we're in this together. Yeah, we are. Stay safe. All right, let's see. You begin the long hike back up to the Scarlet estate alone. Almost home. Salvation in sight, you make a mad dash to the door. Oh, thank God you're back. Where the hell have you been? Perhaps I shouldn't mention somebody playing the piano. You didn't even pick up when I called you back. I was upset. Been ignoring my calls for hours. There was this miner outside the general store tonight who called me out by name and everything. Wayne. Scared the shit out of me. Do you know what's going on there? It's a mining town. Of course there are miners walking around at night. And of course people know who you are. We don't get a lot of visitors in these parts. I got lost in the woods with this cryptid hunter girl I met and an old farmer. A lot of really terrible things happened out there, Tabitha. Ah, you've met Stella then. That explains everything, and she's gotten you all worked up. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm still all hyped up on adrenaline from tonight. I would love to just hang out for a little while, cool down a bit. No, not going to hang out with you. It's late. I'm tired. Going to bed. Don't do anything stupid while I'm asleep. Just go to your room and sleep. You're alone in the estate. The sound of the wind whistling through the house gives you an uneasy feeling in your gut. You collapse into your mattress. You remember that Stella asked you to call her once you got back. Pull out your phone and call. Hey, how are you? Did you make it back all right? Yeah, I'm all right. How are you? Totally fine. I mean, as fine as I could be, I guess. You don't have to worry about me. Go get some Z's, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. From the relative safety of this uncomfortable bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else. Though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments, for now, you're safe and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise, chase away the monsters, and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a boring week in the mountains with your sour faced cousin. It's a nice thought, but deep down, you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. Dun, dun, dun. The art is really freaking amazing in this game. Yeah, she really did. And I don't know, but it's a spiral. So, like, and it was spiral in like increasing size of creatures. So, yeah, I don't know. I know that the first seal that we find has like chains in a spiral on it, I think. The seal that's in the mine. At least I think they're chains, I'm not sure. Also, why are there just like random llamas or alpacas or something? Giant pumpkin. And a mine. And the estate. With I really want to find the room with all the locks in these things. That's probably where the um, street smart is going to be the key skill, right? I would imagine. That's the end of episode 1. All right, let's give this a save, shall we? So this is gonna be our Pips 2 episodes. Do we want to start episode 2? I'm sort of curious what happens if you don't go into town to meet Stella and Kanika. But you don't clean the bathroom, you do the other thing. Sort of. On the other hand, it's 1 a.m. and we've been going for over 5 hours. But on the other hand, no, don't